Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Joshua, the 11th chapter. And as we went through in the 10th chapter, it was mainly the conquest, right? As you had the 5 kings, okay, that gathered together, to fight against Gibeon, upon which, just make sure that's the correct one. Yep. Upon which Israel came to their rescue and then continued to pursue and destroy all the neighboring cities. And it came to pass when Jabin, king of Hazor, had heard those things, that he sent unto Jobab, king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Aksaph, and to the kings that were on the north of the mountains, and of the plains south of Chinneroth. And let me see Chinneroth. Let's see where that is. Yep, as I suspected. So that's right here. So if this is the Sea of Chinnereth, as they worded here, or Sea of Galilee, then it would be up north. As it says, Chinneroth or Cinneroth or Chinnereth, harps, the early name of the Sea of Galilee. Okay. So this is now dealing with the northern area, as it says, south of Chinneroth in the valley, which will still be north of where Israel had camped. And in the borders of Dor on the west. And to the Canaan, so they went and called basically the armies from the north, the different neighbors, the kings, all of them. They said, get ready. And to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and to the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Jebusite in the mountains, and to the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. And they went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots very many. So you can imagine a huge army here. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. Let's look this up here. It's that Joshua 11 map. Let's see. Okay. Where? Oh, Merom. Okay, somewhere here. So we'll just say around this area. Okay. Where we at? Verse 6. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Joshua, be not afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time I will deliver them up all slain before Israel. Thou shalt huff their horses and burn their chariots with fire, which is to basically like cripple their horses. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merob, or Merom, suddenly, and they fell upon them. And the Lord Yahweh delivered them into the hand of Israel, who smote them, and chased them onto great Zidon, and onto Meraphoth Maim, and onto the valley of Mizpah eastward. And they smote them until they left them none remaining. Now, you might wonder, how can such a great multitude be given up? Remember, the Lord battling in the host can very easily do things like slowing down their perception, right? Speeding up the hands of of the warriors of Israel, okay, of many different things, to where when he weakens the hands, right, of the adversaries, he can cause a lot of things to work against them. Because when you go to war, there's a lot of things that are going on, and you got to be mentally locked in, okay? But the Lord can do many things to where even if it's a huge army, giving you the upper hand against them, they don't stand a chance. So it doesn't go into details as to what the Lord did when it says that he gave them into the hands of Israel. But from a plain standpoint of just sword to sword, there are many different biological things the Lord can do to weaken the hands actually of the adversaries. You know, where we at? Verse 9. And Joshua did unto them as the Lord Yahweh bade him. He huffed their horses and burnt their chariots with fire. And Joshua at that time turned back and took Hazor and smote the king thereof with the sword. For Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. And there was not any left to breathe. And he burnt Hazor with fire. And all the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them, did Joshua take, and smote them with the edge of the sword, and he utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. Now the edge of the sword is the sharp part of the sword, and when you smite somebody, you kill them or you hit them. What happens when you hit somebody with the edge of a sharp sword? You cut them, right? And then they die. Verse 13, but as for the cities that stood still in their strength, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only. That did Joshua burn. So all of the cities, as it says, that they had fought, right, and taken over, the one that Joshua burned was Hazor, being that it was the head, as you read up above, of them. Verse 14, and all the spoil of these cities and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey unto themselves. But every man they smote with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them, neither left they any to breathe. And the Lord Yahweh, as the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses. So he was obedient to the T. So Joshua took all that land, the hills, and all the south country, and all the land of Goshen, and the valley, and the plain, and the mountain of Israel, and the valley of the same, even from Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon. And all their kings he took and smote them and slew them. And this was a lot of work. This is a long war. As it goes on to say, Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. All other they took in battle. See? And they did that out of, quick thinking, right? But everybody else was fair game, and they were taken. For it was of the Lord Yahweh to harden their hearts, that they should come out against Israel in battle. So all these other cities, in their minds, they were afraid, but their initial thought was, let's just go out and fight them. The Gibeonites, on the other hand, said, you know what, let's go and try to, be allies with them. Let's try to make a league with them. Because it's not peradventure we might stand a chance or we might win. No, their God has already showed that he is giving them our land. They're going to take it over. You're not going to win this. So if you can't beat them, join them, right? Verse 20, for it was of the Lord Yahweh to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them, as the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses. See? So that's why he put into their hearts to all charge and fight against them, because they would get crushed. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the mountains of Judah. And I believe the Anakims were like a family or a tribe of the Canaanites. We'll look into that. And from all the mountains of Israel, Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. Let's look into that. Right, Anakim, long-necked, a tribe of giants, descendant of Anak, who dwelt or which dwelt in southern Canaan. Okay, so there you go. So they probably were extremely tall. And there was none of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel, Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod there remained. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes. And the land rested from war. And boy, can you imagine how long this took. And that brings us to the end of the book of Joshua, the 11th chapter. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Shalom.